Hey, good day, family. Okay, so we're talking about giving back, really, in your own community. So my guest this morning is the president and CEO of United Way, the National Capital Area, Miss Rosie Allen Herring. Rosie, good morning, and I want to thank you for coming in and sharing some information with us about giving back, and specifically in your own community. So touch on that for our listeners.
Sure. And good morning, and good morning to all of your listeners. Thank you for having me. Giving back is something that we believe at United Way is something that's pretty organic to who we are as a people and as a community. Mm-hmm. It's really important that we give back because we have been so fortunate. And when we look at what's happening in our region, 6 of the top 10 highest earning income areas are in our region. But there are so many that are in need as well. And so this is our opportunity to talk about, as a community, how we come together to ensure that those who are in need have the support services that they need, and those organizations that are serving them have what they need in order to be able to ensure that those families are thriving and successful too.
So let's talk about specifically, what can people do, take into account what's going on politically and with the budgets being cut, stuff like that.
Well, when you think about what's coming down the pike from the Trump administration with regards to cuts to safety nets, it really is going to be detrimental. There is no other way to say it. We're talking about over the next 10 years, over $1 trillion in cuts to many of those social services that people take for granted. Things such as SNAP and TANF for many families who are on assistance. Right. We're talking about Medicare, Medicaid. We're even talking about middle-class cuts. When we think about the earned income tax credit, what's happening, many of the families are able to take advantage of that, and that's the difference between owing the government and actually getting a refund. When we look at what's happening in our middle-class society, many of our families take advantage of tax deductions. The charitable deduction is potentially on the block with this administration. And so when you think about that, where is the incentive sometimes for people to be able to support their community, especially those that are lower to moderate income, who still feel like they can do something even if they don't have largesse? And so this was something that was put in place that allowed even the lowest income person to be able to take advantage of a tax deduction or a charitable deduction, but ultimately saw themselves as being philanthropic and serving their community as well. So the cuts that are coming are truly detrimental to those safety net services. And so this is an opportunity for us to think about, not only from a public policy standpoint, what we should or could be doing, but what we have to do as actual members of society.
Exactly.
So we have to start thinking about how can we share of our time, our talent, and our treasure, and everyone can do something. And so it's not just for those who consider themselves to be millionaires or extremely wealthy people. Giving back is something that everyone can do.
The average person can go ahead and give back.
The average person can give back. And when we think about what's happening, especially in the African American community, so much of our giving has been with churches. And when we look at the faith community, but there are so many other services that are being offered, some by faith-based institutions, some by those who just care. And they need to ensure that they can serve those families that are in need every day. And these are the organizations that I believe your listeners and our community can support.
Exactly. Now, you have a campaign. It's called Do More 24. You want everyone to do more.
Absolutely. We want everyone to do more. On June 8th of this year, starting literally at midnight, and this year we've done a little bit something special. It's typically a 24-hour day of giving, literally from midnight to midnight. Anyone, I don't care how old you are, how young you are, can do something. Go to domore24.org and make a contribution. There are over 500 organizations that are participating in our day of giving. And it's really an opportunity for you to find something that's a personal passion for you, or something that you just may be interested in and learning a little bit more, and certainly make that donation, including to your United Way. But more importantly, it's an opportunity for you as an individual to connect with an organization where you may want to do something with them after that donation. Give a little bit of your time, volunteer, connect our young people to this service, and I think it's really just an opportunity for us to be better as a society.
I love what you do, Rosie, really do. Pouring back into the community,
Absolutely.
Literally. Help your own community, right?
You have to. I mean, we're in Washington, and because in this area, so many national organizations could be very well based here, but they are serving literally other communities. We have to ensure that our own community is taken care of by the people who live and work and play here every day.
Exactly. That's right.
And so that's why it's so important. When you give your contribution, you may or may not understand where it goes. And your United Way is committed to ensuring that everyone feels like we're good stewards of what has been entrusted to us, and that the families, are that your donations are being used for the purpose intended. And because of that, we've been able to work with so many partners. We call ourselves 3 C's. We're a convener, meaning we want to bring everyone together.
Right.
We're a collaborator, which means we do absolutely nothing alone. But we also want to be catalyst, because we want to bring innovative thought leadership solutions to the table around these issues that are really and truly hampering our community.
Okay, so for someone who's interested, why don't you give us the website first for United Way, and of course then about the Do More 24.
Sure. Your United Way's website is United Way, NCA for National Capital Area.org. And on that website, you'll find a plethora of things about what's going on in this community. You'll have an opportunity to look at organizations who are doing great work. If you want to volunteer, you have that opportunity to sign up there and help us ensure that we're being that great resource for this community.
Okay.
If you're interested in making that contribution on June 8th, and now this year you can make it a little bit earlier, you can actually schedule your donations sooner, starting even now.
Okay.
And then it'll come out, of course, June 8th. You can go to domore24.org. And again, it's domore24.org.
Love what you do. Rosie, keep up the great work.
Thank you so much
Appreciate
for having
you.
me.
Really
and
do.
Thanks to your listeners for being such a great community for us to live and work in every day.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about, family, pouring back into the community right there where you live. Do More 24. I love it.
Thank you, Bobby.